to lesson 7 in this module 3, where we're looking at something called negative keywords. Negative keywords and this lesson and the next one are super important. These can be the difference between a successful campaign and a failed campaign. So don't underestimate what we're about to look at. I really, honestly, truly mean it. If you get this right, you can have a huge impact. It's a crazy thing that not showing ads when you don't want to show ads is just as important as showing them when you do want to. So let's get into this. So we've already built a great account, but this is something that's missing, and that's what we're kind of looking for. We're looking for the missing things. So what is a negative keyword? A negative keyword is simply a phrase that you do not want your ads to show for. For example, worst locksmith in Tampa. If you were a locksmith in Tampa, then it will be entirely possible that you would have that the phrase locksmith in Tampa in your keywords. If you've got that on a phrase match basis, then if somebody types in worst locksmith, your ad's going to show up. If someone's going to search for scam locksmith in Tampa, your ad's going to show up. You probably don't want it to. So negative keywords, apart from controlling your spend, protect your reputation. They avoid the negatives. So let's have a look. Now, negative match keywords have the same match types as regular keywords. So we've got exact, we've got phrase, and we've got broad. There's no such thing as modified broad in negatives. And that's because match types behave slightly differently for negatives than they do for positives. So for example, for an exact match, if you remember before, exact in a positive keyword didn't quite mean exact, it meant exact-ish. So dentist would also match dentists and possibly dentistry. It stems and pluralizes and deals with misspellings. In an exact sense, on a negative, it only matches exact. So if you wanted to show your ad for dentists with an S, but didn't want it to show for dentist, you could have an exact match for the word dentists and a negative for dentist on an exact match basis. That would mean your ad only showed for dentists. It's quite a complicated way to achieve quite a simple thing. Phrase works exactly the same as it did before. So it matches the phrase that's in the keyword. And broad, for a broad match keyword to be negative, all that it needs is the broad match keyword to be anywhere in the search phrase. It doesn't handle synonyms or close variants, it's just the word itself. So if worst, for example, was a keyword that you had on a negative broad match, anything that included the word worst would automatically be excluded. So that's how the differences are. They're subtle, but they matter. Now we use negatives to control ads for which control searches for which our ads show. So we are giving control, for example, dentist and dentists, as I showed a moment ago. They reduce our ad spend because they prevent our ads showing up for things we don't want them to when we're using particularly phrase, broad and modified broad match searches. They avoid reputational risk, as I've just demonstrated with the worst locksmith example. As a result of all that, they reduce our cost per conversion and they increase our click-through rate. Our spend becomes more effective as a result. So let's have a look at some common negatives, things like job, career related. You will find in Google, if you don't control for negatives for job and career related ads, keywords, your ad will show for example, someone will be attorney jobs, attorney training courses, attorney qualifications. All those kind of keywords that if someone's looking to find a job or a career and doing research, your ad will show if you don't control them. Free is often a negative. Unless you really have something truly free, it's nearly always going to be a negative keyword for you. Research-based keywords such as how do I are often negative because you're looking for buyers, not searchers. And also competitors. I would strongly recommend that in most of your campaigns, you have competitor names and brand names as a negative. We then separately have a competitor targeted campaign, but throughout the rest of our campaign, they're negatives. We want our ads to only show for competitors when we've specifically written an ad to target them. So we're targeting their weaknesses, not as part of our general search. Because if people are searching for a competitor by name and it's local, there's a good chance they already know them. They're looking for a phone number or an address or a contact point. It will all mostly result in wasted spend. So let's talk about how to find negatives. If you already have a campaign, then a search query report is a great place to start. If you haven't, or even as well as anyway, look at related search in Google. Do some searches, look at the related search terms, look for anything you can see there that you wouldn't want your ads to show for. Use common negative lists like those that we provided underneath this video as well, because they're really helpful. Look for locations that you don't service but are in your local area. Google Ads can overlap areas slightly, so I would often recommend, if you don't service a particular area, negative it in your campaign. And already mentioned known competitors. So let's have a quick look at ways to do this. What I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to come into an AdWords account. I'm going to go into an ad group that's got plenty of traffic, so I'm going to come into this one. And then what I'm going to do is, when it finally loads up, click on Details. So I'm in the Keywords tab, clicking on Details. I'm going to do All. And this is going to show me all the things that my ad, all the phrases that my ad has been shown for. So windows and doors, Dublin. Okay, that looks okay. This is a Dublin window company. Finglass is an area. If that's not something that I'm interested in, I would highlight that Finglass as a location I want to negative. I don't know enough, it may not be. Looking further down, this is talking about UPVC front doors. Now, if I don't sell UPVC doors and I sell wooden doors, I would want UPVC as a negative. And what I would do with all of these is I would just take the things that I think are interesting. So Finglass, let's just take that one. UPVC was another. I'll just make a note of what they are. So that's a location. That's a product. Come back into my account. Victorian, I may not do Victorian doors. That's a style of door. So Victorian. Keep going down, keep going down. Keen doors is a competitor. So okay, let's have a look for any more. Carlson is also a competitor. You get the idea. Now we can go through our entire account doing this and looking for negative keywords. What I'm going to show you in the next video is what to do with them. So once you've got that, go away, build a list of potential negatives, keywords and themes that you don't want to show ads for. Build a long list, note them by type as I've just done, and I'll show you how to use them in the next video. Bye for now.